Here's the truth. This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store, where you get all the cool merch, cops over criminals. You got to get that now out of The Officer Tatum Store. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. Y'all know what it is. I don't have to say this. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a quick synopsis. It's not going to be a long video. I'm going to explain to you why or the truth about defunding the police. Now, most people who may not be connected psychologically to some of these things that go on, may not have been a police officer, that don't understand how city police work, don't understand how police in the community works. The reason that they want to defund the police is way outside of the reason that they're trying to push to the average Joe. Every politician and every person on planet Earth knows that they need police officers within their city in order for the city to flourish and for the city to not be overtaken. If you somehow eliminate the police, and there's no time in history that police officers have been eliminated, disbanded, and they weren't replaced. You know that you can't just get rid of the police because the city will fall apart. The mere mentioning of defunding the police have caused cities to fall apart. Disbanding the local police have caused cities to fall apart. Now, they replace those disbanded municipal police with the sheriff's deputies. They don't leave these cities desolate. Don't let them lie to you and say, we disbanded this police department and they had no police. They had private security. No, they didn't. They disbanded and the jurisdiction go to the sheriff's department. Here's my theology. I'm not saying that this is 100% right. I'm saying from what I see, this is my opinion based on what I know and what I've seen. These defund the police campaigns, their whole strive is to federalize police. To federalize police. Why do you say that, Mr. Tatum? Look at what they're doing in trying to push on a federal level. They cannot get these things accomplished, whether or not it's detaining illegal aliens, which you see in California and Illinois. I think they're sanctuary cities. You can't be a sanctuary city if the police are federalized. You can only be a sanctuary city because states have rights, and the state can choose not to abide by federal mandates and federal law. So if you have marijuana charges or marijuana is illegal federally, municipalities don't have to arrest for that. They can not charge them because then the states can legalize marijuana, although federally marijuana is illegal. There's different things that can happen. The Second Amendment, they can't come to your house and try to take your guns because municipalities, city police won't have it. They just will not enforce these federal mandates. The governor can say the same thing and say, we're not going to do that in this state. However, if you disband the municipal police and you bring in the sheriff, because the next step after disbanding municipal police is the sheriff deputies taking over. Why do they want the sheriff's deputies to take over more so than city cops? Because a city council determines what city cops do, and if the city council is conservative, the cops are going to do what's conservative. They're going to hire a police chief that's conservative. Now, the sheriff's deputy is an elected position, meaning that you cannot fire the actual sheriff deputy because, or not the sheriff's deputy, but the sheriff, because you don't like him. The person has been elected, and that's an elected official. And you know how elected officials work. And you know how they can get bought and paid for. So once you do the sheriff's deputy, or the sheriff's deputies take over the city, then you can federalize it. Because then you can go from the sheriff's deputy to now having federal police. How can they get to that point, Mr. Tatum? Look at the numbers. Municipal police are being defunded. They're criticizing, they're ridiculing local police. Crime is skyrocketing to the point in which they're acting like it's out of control. Because the police can't help us. The city don't trust the police. So we need some type of control in our cities because crimes are going out of control. Okay, disband the local police because they're ineffective. Let's have a federalized police agency where everybody's on the same page. The federal government will run body-worn cameras. The federal government will do all of the training. The federal government will do it all across the board. And that's one of the reasons why they want to have a federal database. You don't need a federal database if a person is not a federal employee. You don't really need an FBI. You don't need a federal database. But they're trying to put all this stuff and make it federalized so they can come take over your city. And when you say, I'm not wearing a mask, they can enforce the mask on a federal level. And why would they do that when there's a possibility that a Republican be in office? Because they don't plan on Republicans ever being in office again. How are they going to reassure that a Republican never be in office? Because they are going to ensure it the same way that they ensured it the last time. And you can make your own decision about how they did what they did to ensure it. But they did assure that they were going to get a Democrat in office this time. Even if the polls were closed and they votes were still going on, which never happened in history. Even if those things occurred, hypothetically, a Republican will never be in office again. And if a Republican is never in office again, the Democrats will have the presidency. The Democrats will find a way to get the House and Senate. The Democrats will find a way to expand the court, and they'll run the courts. They'll run the entire federal government, and then they'll federalize police. So they'll run every single state through federalized police. They will mandate masks when they want to, vaccinations when they want to, and Second Amendment restrictions whenever they want to. And when they get to the point, then they're going to say, oh, bigotry of the LGBTQ is now going to be an arrestable offense. The municipality wouldn't do that. The state wouldn't do that, but the federal government will make it a federal offense. So then if you do something like that, they can come to your house. If you violate the thought police on social media, they'll come find you at your house. This is my theory of what they're attempting to do. And it's not that far-fetched, because if you understand socialism, you understand communism, you understand Marxism, if you understand, the way the way the Jews were treated, specifically, the Nazi Germany and the way the Jews were treated, then you can see how they start with propaganda, then they get the youth. Therefore, they built propaganda to the youth for generations to come. And then they start saying, oh, look at this. They're using AK-47. Those should be banned. And then because people are gullible and ignorant, they ban all of the high-powered things that you can use against the government if need be. Then before you know it, it's going to be the handgun. And then the handguns are gone. Now everybody's unarmed except the government. They don't really want to defund the police. They want to federalize the police. So therefore, the federal government is now the only organization that are armed. And then when the federal government want to crack down on stuff that they want to crack down on, you screwed. Just like the Jews were screwed. Just like Chinese people are screwed. Just like go to any country where you see a totalitarian regime, you see communism. Do their citizens have guns? No, they don't. Can their citizens freely speak about what they want to speak about without getting killed? No, they can't. Do they have unobstructed conversations on social media? No, they don't. And you see the propaganda choirs and everything in China, like, y'all better keep your eyes open. It's not too far-fetched to think that they are pushing for communism in America. Black Lives Matter organization is led by Marxists. They're not led by liberals. They're not led by people who are you would consider to be traditional Democrats or Republicans or conservatives. These people are open Marxists. These people are open fascists who are fighting fascism with fascism, who are fighting racism with racism. These are the people that are running these organizations. I'm warning y'all. Just like the whole Juneteenth thing, they want to get you lined up so they can lay you all down. That's exactly what's going to happen. I don't know how we don't see that in history. I'm going to finish it with this thought. Why would anybody do that to their own country? Well, it's called an extraction. They're extracting resources from the common folk in America. They're extracting wealth. They take all the wealth. They live in the big houses with security. You live in squalor. They own all the property. They buy up all the land. They own all the resources. Therefore, you will forever be under their thumb. And while you middle class people think you're going to stay in the middle class, you're going to become, it's going to be two classes: poor people and then the elite. That's exactly what's going to happen. Bezos, all these billionaires, they're going to buy up land. They're going to own all e-commerce. They're going to own, I say e-commerce. They're going to own all commerce. They're going to own everything. Just like China owns everything that we have in this country. Everything you find, just look at where it's made. It's made in China, made in China. 99% of everything you own is made in China. And whatever's left over, it's going to be owned and run by the elite. Your voice, your products, everything that you own will be owned by the elite. And they'll tell you when, how, and where to do all of your business. And if you disagree, you will be killed. If you don't put that mask on like a slave, then they're gonna find a way to exile you. It's exactly what they're gonna do. And people don't see it coming, but I'm telling you right now, and this is my opinion. I don't know why YouTube would have a problem with this. This is my opinion, based on the things that I've researched. You're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe. You can believe that I'm lying. If you have research to disprove me, then post it online, and I'll be willing to change my thought process. But I can see it happening. You have a pandemic, and all of a sudden these people that with big money are buying up everything because Jeff Bezos don't have a pandemic. Facebook don't have a pandemic. There's no pandemic for these people. They're all e-commerce. They're all online. So whether or not you leave your house or not, you're still on Facebook. Whether or not you leave your house or not, you still need Amazon. Amazon is now working with Whole Foods. So whether you eat or not, you're going to go through Amazon. Now they get computers to replace people. And then you're going to have Amazon computers doing everything. They buy up everything. Insider trading. And y'all out here really thinking you free and really thinking you're in the middle class. They know that these billionaires are going to move their stuff offshore. They know that these billionaires are going to move out of California. They don't need them. They're going to take you. You're going to pay all the tax money. You're going to pay for their mistakes in the middle class. Your rent is going to go up. These billionaires, their properties in California is a business expense. Oh, they have business meetings at their beach house. It's a business expense. That's exactly what it's going to be for me one day. It's going to be a business expense. I'm going to do business in California for the summer. And I'm going to invite all my business partners to come over and do business. That's what my facility is going to be for. So people that got money, they're gonna do that. They're gonna take advantage of the system. They're not gonna pay no taxes on that beach property. But you're gonna pay a heck of a lot of taxes for that 1 bedroom, 700 square feet apartment. That used to be $2,000 a month, it's gonna be $3,000. And you know what they're gonna do to you? And this is Jules. Because Elon Musk's girlfriend said it. What they're gonna do to you is once they raise it up to the capacity in which you cannot survive. I wish that somebody keep this video, 14 minutes. The capacity in which you cannot survive, they're gonna make it all AI, and the government is gonna pay you. That's what's gonna happen. And you have no choice. You're gonna have to accept it. They're gonna have computers doing everything. Computers are gonna be doing the groceries. They're gonna be picking groceries. They're gonna be doing McDonald's. They're gonna be doing everything. And you're not gonna have to work because the government is gonna pay you. The government is gonna find a way to cut you a check every month, $3,000 a month. If you ain't the elite, you are now subject to AI. And they're gonna do all the work, they're gonna make all the money, and the government is gonna give you free everything. And you're gonna take it because you're not gonna be able to live off of making nothing because computers will take over everything. And you're gonna take your little $3,000 a month. And if you say something about the government, they can cut your check, postpone your check. If you ain't got the mark of the beast or whatever they want to put on you, you cannot fly. You cannot travel. You won't have access. That's why you can't let the government take over everything. That's why our country have been so great, because we've always been we the people. We the people control everything. If you let the government do it, it's only a few people at the top pulling strings, and they're going to have all you guys subject. Now, I hope I'm dead and gone by that time, and I'm going to be on with Jesus. But But I'm just trying to let y'all know what's going to happen. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you watching 15 minutes. I'm telling you, the last minute there is truth. I feel it in my spirit that that's what they're trying to do. Anyway, I love you guys. Make sure you visit the Austin store. Get your Cops Over Criminal shirt today. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.